I can't get him to leave. They said, please, Father, don't give up. He'll die. His body's wasting away if you don't do something, please. He said, okay, I'm going to go home tonight and pray. I'll try one last thing. They said, thank you, Father Burdern, thank you. Well, Father Burdern went home that night, and he prayed and thought all night. And finally in the morning, he thought he had an answer. He went back to Danny's house the next day, and he said, I'm going to try something, folks. It's going to be very risky. He said, but if it works, maybe I can fool the devil into letting go of Danny. They said, please, whatever you do, just get the devil out of our son. He said, okay, I'm going to try it. He said, whatever you hear from upstairs, don't come up. They said, we promise. Father Burdern went upstairs by himself that night. When he walked in the room, there was little Danny, all chained up to the bed. He sat right up, and he said,
Father Burdern, you about ready to give up?
Father Burdern said, you know what, I am. The devil was surprised. He said,
what? You're just going to give up? Just like that? You're not going to try anymore?
He said, well, you're the devil. You're great and mighty. The king of hell. What am I? I'm just a little priest. And the devil said,
you got that right. You ain't nothing. Nothing but spit.
He said, look. He said, I'll do it. Is that offer still good? Will you trade you, Danny, for me? Will you come into my body? The devil said,
oh, I love that.
He said, okay, let's do the trade then. The devil said, here I come. He said, wait, before you come, can I just talk to Danny for 1 minute? I just want to tell him what I did for him so he'll understand my sacrifice. The devil said,
you stupid priest. Sure, talk to him for a minute, and then I'm coming into you.
The boy went limp for a sec. He opened up his eyes. He was Danny again. He didn't know where he was. He looked around. He saw the scars on his body. He started to cry. Poor little boy. He saw the chains on his arms. He was chained to his bed. He didn't know where he was. He didn't know who the priest was. The priest said, relax, Danny. Stop crying. He said, I only have a minute. Let me just ask you a quick question. He said, what is it? Because he'd been thinking about what the devil had said. If the boy said one thing, he would let him go. And Father Burdern had figured it out. He said, let me ask you. Do you love God or do you love the devil? The boy said, I love God. When he said that, he turned back into the devil again. He said,
oh, I can't believe he said it. I was a stupid to let you talk to him. Oh.
All of a sudden, the windows of the boy's room burst open. A cold, icy wind came in. It blew the priest off his feet. It blew the bed up against the wall. It swirled around the room like a little tornado for a second and went back out the window. Father Burdern ran to the window. He looked out. In the distance, he saw a big black cloud hanging over a house across the street. It was full of snakes and fire, and as he watched, the cloud got smaller and smaller and smaller, and it disappeared. He went back to the boy and he checked him to see if he was possessed anymore, and he wasn't. Well, they waited 3 more weeks to see if the devil would come back, but he didn't. Well, after that, they took everything that Danny had touched. They took his clothes, the bed, everything he had touched, and especially, that's right, the Ouija board. And they put it in a big pile in the backyard, and they poured gasoline around it, and they set it on fire and burned it all down, so that nothing the devil had touched would be around. And that's the true story of Danny and Captain Howdy. Night, night.